we have a Lebanon County Property Viewer ready to go. I made a couple of improvements since the last time that you saw it, and it's ready for prime time. So the way that I think that we should roll this out would be to create a link on our county website. So, you know, a link will look something like this, but I'm sure Danielle will have nice words like the Lebanon County Property Viewer instead of this big long link. So once you click on the link, then this is what will come up. Now this is a little smushed because of the projector, but it will work on a phone. So I have it on my phone, and I can pass them around too if you wanted to see what they look like. It will also, you know, work on tablet. Okay, so it's really whatever folks want to use, they should be able to use. Obviously, on your phone, you know, it's a little more difficult to navigate, you know, because of size, but it'll work if that's what if that's what people want to do. So when they enter the first page, they're going to see this disclaimer, and they have to agree to the disclaimer to move forward. So they don't have a choice about that. And once they do, they see the county, and then there's a limited number of widgets available. There's a measure widget, a print, and a base map widget. When you come over here on the left-hand side, there's a legend. So as we zoom into the map, features start to become available. So as the features become available, manufactured homes, subdivision lots, property lines, you'll see that these items pop up.
Just a
Okay. There you go. There we go, perfect. So as the features become available, they pop up over in the legend. So again, if you're zooming out, they disappear, and when they zoom in, those things appear on the legend. As you zoom in, you're able to click on any property. And as you do, you'll see that there's information about this property.
It's pretty slick.
Yeah, so who owns it, its mailing address. One of the things that we added that we thought people would really like was to know what school district this property is in. So now you can see that this is in the Lebanon City School District. It also has its acreage and its assessment, sale date, sale price. So it
Seems
has
a little high in the assessment, no?
yeah, it does, doesn't it? No. So there's a nice subset of information available for the user to see. You also have the ability to search.
I see your latitude and longitude's always in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, it is always there.
That's interesting.
In the bottom, yep. You have the ability to search. If you drop down, you can search by the property address, or you can search by the map number UPI, whichever you choose. So if we just use an address,
Will this go like to aerial view?
yeah, I can show you that. It'll zoom to and highlight the property. So this is our property here. If you go to Base Map Gallery, you have options to change the background. If you use this one, it goes to the aerial imagery.
So that's the dike that goes under.
Yeah, those are the streams. Yep. So we do have some base map features just ingrained as well, like your railroads, your streams, that type of thing. So the user, I didn't put them in the legend because I think for most people they're going to know, you know, what that is. So I didn't want to clutter up the legend. I wanted to make this as slim, streamlined as possible, trying to make it as easy to use and as least bit of confusing as possible. That was the goal here. I also kind of modeled this a little bit off after Dauphin County. I looked at Dauphin's site. I like the look and feel of theirs, and so I tried to make us close to one of our neighbors if possible as well, so that folks that may be
Yep.
used to using something in the neighborhood could come over to ours and still feel comfortable. This little home button here, you can jump out and you go right back to the whole county if you want to. One area to note in the search, you cannot search by owner name, and that is intentional. We don't want any issues with people trying to search police officers' names, judges' names,
They can do the commissioners, right?
Whoever. We didn't want it to become an issue where people are maliciously maybe searching for an address. So you need to know the address in order to use that, or you need to use a map number. And with either one of those things, you'll be able to get to a property. And of course, like I said, you can just navigate by zooming in. And on the iPad or the iPhone or whatever tablet, that you have, you'll just use your finger, and you just
Push on
use your finger to move around. I'll have to wait for it to catch up. And the same philosophy, you'll click and it'll give a little subset of data, same thing. So same philosophy, except instead of using a mouse, you may be using your fingers, which really, this is probably how most people are going to go, right? A lot of people aren't using the home computer anymore, although some of our real estate companies and some engineers, surveyors, they may still want to do the traditional computer, but
it. Will this cut down on the ones that are purchasing this service from us?
I don't believe so, because this is number one, it's a subset of the data. And you can't download the GIS data using this. So we have folks that actually need the GIS data itself, that they want to use this in their application. So they will still be wanting to purchase the data as they traditionally would. What this will cut down on are the amount of folks that have to travel to the municipal building when they want to do a simple property search, when they want to do a mock-up, because they want to do a building permit or something, and they need to have a property mock-up. They won't have to come here to the building. They can do that at their home, at their place of work. It's going to cut down on a lot of issues that people had with that. It'll also save the number of phone calls that both of us get. Can you just verify that owner's address for me? I have people that call me from all over the state, all outside of the state, that don't want to have to travel to the municipal building to get this data, or us having to make a PDF of a map and send it. Ted and I both do that quite a bit.
Can you make a PDF from here?
You can.
And is it live now?
It is live, but it's not out there anywhere. So I know the link, and a few other people that I've sent the link to would be able to hit it, but the public doesn't know about it because the link is not out there in the public at this point. So I can still make adjustments to it and make changes and tweak it a bit if needed. So
When will it go live?
looking at September 22nd, not to steal Danielle's thunder, but that's approximately when we're looking. Print. Okay, so if you hit the print button, this little dialog comes up. You can't send this directly to a printer to print. You will be making a PDF.
And then print a
Because
PDF.
it's not really possible for us to know everybody's printer configurations out there. So I set up a standard. They could choose different layouts if they want to, but this is what I chose for them. If they choose to use it, you click, oops, not advanced, click print. It just takes a minute, it creates the print. This could take longer because I have the imagery on in the background. Should have thought about that. When it's complete, you just click on this. There we go. Good. Didn't take as long. And this nice little map layout comes up with the legend, with the title, scale bar, and it has our disclaimer down at the bottom, which is important. And then they can just take this and print it to their printer then. Or they can send it to someone, or, whatever they want to do with it, that's up to them. And of course, this could be zoomed in, or, whatever view you're at, that's the view that will print. So you do have the ability to make a PDF or a print. Again, this base map gallery allows us, if I wanted to see the topography in this area, which with the projector is not real great, but you can see topo lines there a little bit. And then the standard that I went with is the street look. Can I hit it? Yeah. There we go. That's the one that I have as a standard, and again, they can use the imagery if they want to. I kind of like to stick to using the imagery once you're zoomed in. It's hard to use it out at full scale, but folks certainly could do that if that's what they wanted to do. So that is really the measuring. Let me go over that real quick. So folks have some choices, and let's zoom into it properly. So folks have choices. You can measure an area, and if I wanted to measure an area, I would just begin by, clicking. And if I did that, I could see that that's 17 acres in size. So if I am thinking about making a subdivision or something of that sort, that would be very helpful there. I can measure a line. And again, I clicked off of it. I would just click and click. It tells me how long my line is. I have an ability to pick a location. So if my house is here, I want to know the approximate latitude and longitude. Oops, wasn't on it. There we go. Turn that off. So that's my pin now. I can see what the latitude and longitude. That might be helpful for engineers, surveyors, maybe want a lat and long of a property. So again, we tried to make it, streamlined. Didn't want to make it too complicated. Little overview map here. If I get lost when I'm zooming around, which I do, and I think on your phone and your iPad especially, you might get lost. You can use this overview map just by clicking on this little arrow here. And, okay, that's where I was. All right, get myself regrounded. And I can zoom in and zoom out again from there.
When I suggested to Jamie a couple of years ago that we do this, I didn't expect they would have all these options. Just kidding, I didn't suggest.
Hey, why not take the credit?
For the eclipse, right?
We also have a small user guide that I think we should put in conjunction with the link to help people, at least initially. It's pretty intuitive, but just in case, folks might need a little extra help, especially when using like the measuring tool or the base map gallery. This is just a little guide that can maybe help them move around.
So you could search by UPI address, and what was the third one?
That's it. Address or map number /UPI. So no owner names. Certainly, like if I get to this property, it tells me who my owner name is. But if I just was trying to get off of an owner name, I would not be able to find it. And eventually, that's another thing I wanted to show. Eventually, how this is going to tie into DevNet, there will be a little link down here at the bottom, and we should be able to jump right over to DevNet to look at the information that DevNet has on a property. It won't jump there automatically, but you can click the link to get there. I think the DevNet map program would have had us jumping automatically, but I think for the money savings right now, the link at the bottom won't be sufficient until we feel like we're at a place that we want to go further.
That's the assessment information, right?
Yeah, right. Maybe that, I don't know what all that will offer different. There's more information, certainly.
Sure, just back to your point of the names not being searchable.
Yep. So
through this interface, it's not searchable, but it does appear once you click to the data. But that's nothing different than what's offered downstairs.
Correct.
And in fact, down there, you can search by name.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
So
And I'm assuming Dauphin County, if that's who you sort of are modeling after, theirs would be the same way as far as address and name.
I'm not positive, but I probably, because I know this has been, big point of discussion in the GIS community about this redaction of names and the concerns, and there's even, I think there's even bills and legislation that's possibly out there about this. So we're all just trying to react to that and circumvent issues that folks might have. So I know a lot of my colleagues have just said, you know, they're just not going to deal with the searching by owner name, and
that's
why
right.
even open us up for that discussion?
And Zillow, I guess, does it by address, don't they?
Yeah, I know some folks have said, well, if I put the owner name in Google, I could get it. Well, that's fine, but let's not put that liability on us. If you get that out from
That's fine.
Google, let's let Google take the liability. I would rather not.
Do we send out anything in advance to the municipalities, just to let them, you know, as a courtesy, or before the 22nd?
An email.
You could certainly email
Just to
them.
make sure they're aware. It's necessary. Our partners in many things.
Sure.
John has a question.
Yeah, you did mention the cost savings from going through DevNet. What is this costing for the setup?
We have a regular software license with ESRI, the software that we've been currently using. The ArcGIS Online client is included with that, and so the rest of it was just me developing
All
it.
labor?
Yeah.
And how long then did it take you to do
Oh, I didn't really keep track. I don't, it,
this? Been working on it for a few months or
yeah,
years?
yeah. Not every day,
Right, sure.
obviously, but
It's been a
we've,
few months.
it's been a few months. We go back and forth.
Okay.
I show them something, and then we have some recommended changes, and we go back and forth with it, but yeah. So, and the nice thing about this is, as the data is updated, those updates are displaying, you know, on the map, so.
Yeah, that was a question I had. So automatically when you're putting in new information?
Yeah, within, you know, I would say within a day or so,
Great.
yeah. So it's definitely the same as coming here to the building, for the most part, for folks. And that's the exciting part.
Dan's office has been great with me calling in on occasion when there's a fire or some house I need to locate. They're always great, so this will save them some work.
Absolutely, and I know both Ted and I from assessment get phone calls. Folks don't have another way, and so we're having to, our labor to make a map for them and send it to them, which we're happy to do, but this is, certainly people want to be able, if it's 11 at night and I want this information, I want to be able to get it. I don't want to have to wait until the next morning and call Dan or whoever to help me.
And the next step over Google Earth is the fact that you have all the parcels lined out.
Well, the thing about, this is local data, it's our authoritative data. We know this data inside and out, and you don't always know with Google. We may not always know when it was created, how it was created, what scale it's at, and so, you know, obviously we have confidence because we know this data, and that's why we can feel comfortable putting it out there.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Nice.
Any other comments?
I just feel it's going to be a great tool for the public to use to look up whatever they need to without coming to us.
And keep them out of your office, right?
Well,
Not that
you-
we don't like people, but.
No, exactly, and that's what
If they
people have been
hold you,
asking
yeah,
for.
It's
Exactly.
convenience, yeah, like you said, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
And that's,
Exactly.
today, that's how people operate, you know, they wanna be able to do it when they wanna do it, and they want to be able to have that service to them regardless of when they need it and where. I could pull over in my car and put in information if I needed to. I can be, you know, sitting at work, sitting at home, it's not gonna matter, so that's the exciting thing about it.
And we probably get, I bet, 2 or 3 calls a week on just, is the map, are the maps online?
Absolutely, easily,
This will be nice.
Where the world is, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. John, any other questions?
No.